movie Independence Day has rekindled that age-old question. Are we alone? Is there other life somewhere out there in the universe? Well, it's not Hollywood that has the answer, it's America's space agency, NASA. Pictures from the Hubble orbiting telescope are so dazzling and so surprising, astronomers are having to change everything they understood about space and the origins of our universe. And those pictures are leading them to believe that there is life out there, way out back of beyond. Our little planet is under attack. Not for the first time, Hollywood has unleashed the aliens. From little green men in flying saucers to monsters in rocket ships, pictures from outer space are always pretty far out. But the truth is far more exciting than the fiction. You've spent most of your life gazing up at the stars. Do you think there is life out there?
I think the chances of life in outer space on other planets is 100%. The numbers are just too astronomical, if you'll excuse the pun.
It's bigger than I imagined.
Yeah, when I first saw it, it was hard to realize that we're putting a 45-foot, basically a 4-story building that weighs 25,000 pounds into space.
One of America's most famous astronomers, Ed Weiler, is no ordinary stargazer. Over the past 20 years, he's taken the Hubble Space Telescope from this mock-up to mission accomplished, with the best view yet of what is really out there.
You know, there are probably about 100 or 200 billion galaxies in the universe, each having hundreds of billions of stars. So if you wonder if there might be other planets or other life out there, I think the numbers say there has to be.
Will there be panic here on Earth if you make that discovery?
I don't think so. I think people are intelligent. Well, we've now reached a level of literacy and intelligence on this planet that I think people would be frankly excited and happy that we aren't alone. You know, just because we discover life or places where life could exist doesn't mean they're immediately going to come here in starships and, you know, shoot photon torpedoes at us.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery with the Hubble Space Telescope.
Human knowledge of other worlds took one giant leap when the Hubble telescope was carried into orbit in 1990. It was named after Edwin Hubble, who discovered our galaxy was not alone. And it was meant to send back pictures of the most far-flung galaxies at the edge of the universe. But despite its billion-dollar price tag, Hubble blinked, and the first pictures came back blurred.
What caused the eye not to see clearly? 10,000 people worked on Hubble, and a couple of them made a human error. In fact, an extra washer was placed where it shouldn't have been placed, 1.3 millimeter washer. That caused the problem.
It took 3 years of human struggle to find a solution. In the end, it was men and women coming to the rescue of technology.
The astronaut mission in December 1993 is a perfect example of the marriage of space science and manned space. Because the astronauts went up and really accomplished a miracle.
Back to the top of the telescope as the orbiter moves up the northwest coast of Australia.
From here on Earth, we had a view of the most skillful human ballet ever performed in space. One of the unforgettable moments was watching Karen Thornton set free the damaged solar wings.
That looks like a bird, Tom. Look at it.
What was the reaction when the first clear image came back from the repaired Hubble?
Well, it was one of total joy and almost disbelief. But and then people checked it. You know, we were all paranoid at the time that it couldn't possibly be that good.
This Australian-born astronomer, Professor Colin Norman, is one of the senior members of the team trying to make sense of Hubble's pictures.
Even with your great expectations, have some of Hubble's pictures astonished you?
Yes, a number of these images have truly astonished me. It's like seeing a movie of what happened in the universe when it was 1 billion years old. It's just taken us a long time to actually get that movie here to Earth.
This is the dawn of a new age of astronomy. Our universe is now an exquisite art gallery. New stars, stars in their death throes, even whole new galaxies. These extraordinary pictures have even the astronomers in awe.
What Hubble is now able to do, because the speed of light is a constant, as you look back to great distances, the light that is coming from those great distances takes time to get to us, right? And because it takes time to get to us, we're actually looking, when we look at great distances, we're looking at light that was emitted when the universe was much younger. And therefore we can look back in time. And this is one of the magnificent things about modern cosmology. And because we can look back in time, we can watch the universe evolve.
To test their time machine, the astronomers picked an unremarkable slither of sky. With Hubble's remarkable vision, the darkness came alive. Up to 2,000 galaxies we'd never seen before. The time machine took us back almost to the very beginning.
When you look at this magnificent image of the Hubble Deep Field, there are galaxies there which have just formed after about 1 billion years, and we're looking at them at that time.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a star is born. What we're seeing is a massive cloud of gas and dust forming a new star. And we've never seen this before, a jet stream of exhaust about 93 billion miles long.
Now this image is a remarkable image for me. I've worked in this field for all my career, and we have speculated, sometimes wildly, that there would be disks, there would be jets, and at the center there would be stars forming. And just to see this image it's one of these huge adrenaline rush type shocks.
In almost every corner of the sky, Hubble has found these nurseries of stars. Whole new worlds are appearing before our eyes.
Probably one of the most exciting pictures, at least in my mind, is this picture of something we call the Eagle Nebula. This is an area where new stars and planets are being formed right now. It's a very bizarre picture. It's very three-dimensional. This pillar here is about 1 light year in length, which is about 5 trillion miles. It's 5 followed by 12 zeros.
Science fiction has teased or terrified us with stories about mysterious black holes that could swallow us up. Hubble has proved they really exist.
And they were science fiction. They were fantasy when we were kids. Our kids today will read about black holes in their textbooks as scientific fact because Hubble has now proven they exist. We've actually proven 2 of them exist. These supermassive objects that are billions of times more massive than our own sun, but basically infinitesimally small, and thus their gravity is so powerful they just suck everything into them. And we found at least 2 of these at the centers of galaxies. We even think there might be one at the center of our galaxy.
While Hubble has answered some questions, it's posing many more. Its images totally support the theory of how our universe began with a big bang. But the new controversy is when.
And the early data are very intriguing because they're implying that the universe may be only 9 or 10 billion years old.
So you've confounded all those old theories that the universe is 15 billion years old.
That's one of the problems. Well, we either don't understand stellar evolution or we don't understand fully the consequences of the Big Bang or how much matter there really is in the universe. Whatever the case is, this is exactly what we hoped would happen with Hubble. Not that we would find the universe is too young, but that we would find out that we don't necessarily know everything there is to know, and that some of our theories may not be grounded in cement, but they're more like on quicksand.
Animation of Hubble's images has given us the most beautiful view of the planets we all know, the ones in our own solar system. Over the past year, astronomers have spotted 3 new planets, and the Hubble team thinks they've discovered another one.
There is one very interesting indirect planet detection, and that is in the magnificent work done on Beta Pictoris by the Hubble team. That's a primordial disk. It's a dusty disk around a nearby star. There appears to be a strong possibility from calculations that there's a reasonably large planet in the inner regions of Beta Pictoris.
See sights never before dreamed by man. Run, run!
What every Earthling wants to know is whether the new planets will have life and what it will look like. Whether any of the sci-fi flicks even come close.
It is indeed typical that you Earth people refuse to believe in the superiority of any world but your own.
After all of the looking and all of the listening, is there scientific proof that there is life other than on Earth?
6 months ago, you could have asked me, is there any scientific proof that other solar systems existed? And I'd say, no, but I'm 100% sure, and every scientist is 100% sure there have to be other planets. Why would we be the only place in the universe that had planets? There are 1,000 stars out to 100 light years, and I wouldn't be surprised if we found 20 or 30 or 40 Earth-like planets.
On the strength of Hubble's discoveries, Ed Weiler is now leading NASA into the next century on what they are calling the Origins program. It's a search for planets like ours, the kind that could support life.
Life is extremely adaptable, so I think there's a darn good chance if you find plant life, there might be intelligent life too.
What will it mean to all of human history, to religion and philosophy, if we discover life out there?
Well, certainly the question of is there life out there has been a question that's not just sprung up in the last 10 years or 20 years. I mean, the first time the first caveman and woman walked out of their cave and looked up at the sky, they probably had to wonder, what are those lights up there? How do I fit into it? It's a human question, you know. People are explorers. They want to know what's out there. They want to know where they came from. They want to know how they fit into it. So philosophically, it'll have a great effect. I mean, to me personally, I'll feel better living in this vast universe and sharing it with somebody else. I mean, you get extremely lonely if we're the only intelligent life in this vast, almost infinite universe.